Welcome back. It is always an honor to have you join me, even though we can't be together face to face. I'm going to do a fairly quick class. We're going to work low back and hips a little bit and see how that works. But what I would like for you to maybe think about as we go through these poses and everything is effort and ease. In yoga, we use the word sthira and sukha. And sthira is effort and sukha is ease. Like this is sukhasana, when you have your legs crossed, crisscross applesauce. In yoga, we call that sukha. That's easy pose. So throughout this practice, and I'll maybe prompt you a couple times to think about it, but see if you can find that balance between effort and ease in each pose. It's super important. We don't want to be like, muscling through our poses. But anyways, I want you to find a good balance, something that works for you and serves you and your body and your mind. So we'll get started right here, right now. If you want to just come to a nice, comfortable, cross-legged seat. If you want to sit up on a blanket, a towel, a block, anything like that, absolutely, please do. So just find a nice comfortable seat. Let the belly hang. Reach the crown of your head towards the ceiling. And we're just going to start. You can put one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly, palms face up, palms face down at your side. Find a good comfortable seat. Find some ease here. See if you can drop your shoulders away from your ears. And if you're comfortable, maybe close your eyes. See how you feel. And we're going to take 3 deep breaths. Your time, your rhythm. The only thing I ask is that you breathe long, slow, and deep. So whenever you're ready, and you can breathe in through your nose, out through your nose, in through your nose, out through your mouth. It's your choice. Choose what serves you in this moment today. Fill the lungs with air. And as you exhale, see if you can feel your shoulders drop a little more. Find a little more ease. One more big inhale. Exhale, shoulders falling a little further away. Inhale. Exhale. Perfect. We're going to go ahead and we're going to come into what we call Shavasana pose. So bring your left heel in and set your right heel in front. Nice hip opening pose here. Can be very gentle, can be pretty intense. So if your knees are way up, you might put some blankets underneath or something to support. Find that ease here. The balance between effort and ease is at the heart of every yoga practice. And hopefully we can find that on and off the mat. So from here, see from your Siddhasana, lengthening through the spine, see if you can identify where you may be holding or gripping in this pose. And I'll remind you of that every pose. See if you can identify where you're holding or gripping, maybe unnecessarily gripping. So whenever you're ready here, we're going to inhale, squeeze the shoulders up to your ears. Squeeze, hold, squeeze, hold, squeeze, hold. Exhale, pull your shoulder blades down and back. 2 more just like that. Inhale, squeezing up. Exhale, pulling down. 1 more. Inhale, squeezing up. You can hold here. You might find a little gentle movement. Anything that serves you. Exhale, pull your shoulders down and back. Excellent. When you're ready, we'll inhale, take the arms straight up. Reach, reach, reach through the side body, fingertips reaching towards the ceiling. Breathing deep, and then when you're ready, we're going to exhale, turn towards the right. Use those core muscles for that twist. Inhale. Exhale, take your torso and your arms forward over your right knee. You can bring your fingertips to the mat. Should feel a nice stretch in your left lower back here or around the hip area, maybe. You can come lower if you want to. Inhale. Exhale, drop your chin towards your chest. Breathe here. And then play here. Find where you can get the best stretch for you. One more full breath. Walk your hands forward. And breathe here. Inhale, you might lift up. Exhale, you might find chin to chest here. You can find some nice gentle movement here as well if it serves you. And then when you're ready, inhale, walk your fingers to the left. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, chin to chest. Oh, you should feel a nice big stretch in your right lower back, I hope. If not, even if you're not feeling like this great stretch or anything, you're still doing your body good. One more full breath. And then we're going to make it big, fancy. Inhale, coming all the way back up, arms up. Exhale, pull your elbows down and back. Walk your fingertips a little bit behind. See if you can pull your shoulder blades together, elbows coming in. Opening up through the chest area, but again, try and keep your lower ribs down. Don't flare your ribs out here. We want to open up through the chest, not compress in the back. Not that that doesn't give you a great stretch, it does. But. And then when you're ready, coming back to center, switch your feet. So your right heel comes in, left heel sits just in front. And then when you're ready, we're going to squeeze our shoulders up again. Inhale, squeeze. You can hold for a second. Exhale, pull your shoulders down and back. Inhale, squeezing up. Exhale, down and back. Inhale, squeeze. Exhale, down and back. And when you're ready, we'll inhale, take the arms straight up. Lift through all four sides of your torso, front, back. Breathe. And then when you're ready, inhale, exhale, twist towards the left, using those core muscles. Exhale, folding forward. Palms come towards the floor or fingertips, whatever serves. Inhale. Maybe drop your chin to your chest. 3 big deep breaths. Walk your hands forward if it feels good. 3 deep breaths here. And then when you're ready, walking and bringing your torso over your right thigh, your right knee. Inhale. Exhale, chin to chest. And on your next inhale, make it all big and fancy. Whoa! Coming back up. Exhale, pull your elbows down and back. Coming to rest on your knees. Perfect. Now from here, see if you can, again, find the appropriate balance of effort and ease. It's going to probably be different for you every day. So from here, go ahead and take your legs wide. We don't have to come as wide as we possibly can. That's just wide. If you're at your widest, come in a little bit. Feet, toes activated towards our ears. And then when you're ready, we're going to think about, we're going to rotate. We're going to do our internal, external rotation. But I don't want you to think about this movement coming from your feet. I want you to think about the movement coming from your femur bones. Those muscles around your hip joints are doing this movement for you. So try it with just your feet. Let the feet lead the movement. Okay? Feels really good. Now, Press your legs into the ground, activate your feet, and then think about the movement coming from your femur. In and out. Completely changes how this feels. But this is where our sustainability comes in our yoga practice. We are working all those little bitty muscles and everything in here. In and out a few times, bring your legs a little closer. In and out. That movement's coming from the femur, coming from the hip joint. Legs a little bit closer. Keep going. It's hard at first. Try and stay upright in your spine if you can. You can sit up on a blanket again. Come a little closer. Internally, externally rotate. Bring it together. So we do a lot of stuff here in yoga. So my teacher right now was talking about, we do a lot of stuff here in yoga. We do a lot of stuff here in yoga. We often don't do anything in between. So I'm going to take you back out doing this. Come out a little more. Internal, external rotation. Keeping it in the movement, coming from the femur, coming from the hip joint. Go out a little more. You'll feel it, but this is where we get those good sustainable muscles. Support us as we age. Perfect. And then you can stay here in your straddle position. You can come a little wider if you weren't fully wide. And then if you want, you can just stay here and breathe, sitting upright. This is not an easy pose here. So if it's not serving you, just come back to Sukhasana. Or if you want a little more, you can walk your hands forward, come to your forearms, you can come to your chest, whatever you want. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here. Keep your toes active. Pressing the backs of the legs into the mat. You know what? Let's do 2 more breaths here. Perfect. Inhale, coming up. Go ahead and take your hands to the backs of your thighs. Lift your knees. We're going to come to Cobbler's Pose. So bring the soles of your feet together, knees wide. You can interlace your fingertips around your toes or your ankles, sitting up straight. Heels can be as far from your pelvis or as close as is comfortable. Press your outer thighs towards the mat. Take a couple breaths here. If you want to take a fold here, please do. You can tuck your chin into your chest, get some nice flexion in the back. And find, wherever you're going to be here, find your spot between effort, ease, where everything feels great. Take 3 deep breaths. Inhale, roll it up. We're going to bring our knees together. And I will meet you in tabletop. So see if you can move nice and slow, kind to yourself, kind to your body. And find yourself in your tabletop. Spread your arms wide, wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hip points. You can press into the tops of your feet or you can curl your toes. Your choice. Press the earth away from you. So our shoulder blades are spreading wide. And whenever you are ready, we're going to inhale, lift the knees. Keep pressing the earth away. You should feel this in your core. 3 breaths. You can rock side to side here if you want. Exhale, release. And then when you're ready, find a nice cat-cow. Draw up your belly on an inhale. Heart space presses through the upper arm bones rotated out. Elbow creases shining forward. Tailbone reaches towards the sky. Crown reaches towards the sky. Exhale, curling from the tailbone. Press the earth away. Arch through your back. Drop the crown of your head. Inhale, find your cat-cow. And do this cat-cow. Find your rhythm here. Several breaths. moving through cat-cow at your pace. You might, find it, make it your own. You can follow my cues, or you can do some barrel rolls with the chest. You can just do some circles with the tailbone if your lower back is fussy. So a lot of options here, guys. You just need to, I want you to find what feels good. And then when you're ready, take a couple more breaths here, doing whatever movement you have decided on. And then when you're ready, we'll curl our toes under. Inhale, lift it back up. Lift our tailbones up to downward facing dog. Pedal your feet. Press your heart space back towards your upper thighs. Breathing deep. Your heels do not have to reach the mat here. When you're ready, inhale, lift the right leg high. Bend that knee. Open up through the side body. Taking that right foot over towards the left side of the mat. Breathe. You can roll your ankle. Exhale, release. When you're ready, inhale, left leg high, bend that knee, same thing, opening up through the side body. Keep pressing your chest back. Try not to dump into one shoulder or the other. Try and keep the chest square. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Exhale, release. Pedal it out for another minute. And then when you're ready, come back to your tabletop. Curl your toes under. Sit back on your heels. Get a nice heel stretch if it feels good. And if that's not for you, if your feet are screaming at you, you can come to the tops of your feet. That's totally fine. And then when you're ready, take a deep breath. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, back down, and we will meet back in downward dog. Pedaling your feet. Sweet, sweet feet. And then when you're ready, slowly walk your feet up to meet your hands, and we'll meet in a forward fold. So bend your knees as much as you need to here in your forward fold. There's no need to keep the knees straight. Don't lock out your knees. Just find a nice, comfortable forward fold. If you can bring your belly to the tops of your thighs, that's awesome. Bend your knees as much as you need to get there. Maybe just hang here. You can grasp opposite elbows. And then whenever you're ready, bend your knees generously, plant your palm, right palm under your nose. We're going to find our twist. If you've done yoga with me, you've probably done this before. Bend your knees, right palm under your nose. Inhale, straighten through the left leg, left fingertips towards the sky. Exhale, release, switch. Exhale, release. And then when you're ready, bend your knees. Inhale, roll it up. Yeah. Oh, you can barely see me. Mountain pose. Find your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up. I know you can't see my arms, probably. That's okay. Take your right hand, grab your left wrist, find a nice side body stretch. Dipping to the right, bump your hips to the left. Inhale, back up, switch. Inhale, back up. Pull your elbows down and back. Interlace behind your tailbone. Inhale, we're going to find that opening in the chest again. Try and keep your lower ribs down. Perfect. Release. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Plant your palms. Step your right foot back, your left foot back, and come to plank pose. If plank pose is not for you, you can come to tabletop. So plank pose, if you come to tabletop, I would do some cat-cow. If you're in plank, rock back, rock forth, rock back, rock forward. Come up on your toes if you want, and lower slowly all the way to the mat. Hands are going to stay back by our ribs, elbows pulling back, shoulder blades together. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, release. Curl your toes under. Press it back up. You can press it back up into tabletop. Or you can lift up to downward dog. So if you come to downward dog, you're going to inhale, lift the right leg high. Exhale, draw that knee in, step it up into a lunge. Or if you're in tabletop, you're going to slide that foot out. You can lift if you want and bring it forward into your lunge. So however you get into your lunge is your choice. So from down dog or from your tabletop. So find your lunge position. You want to pull back in the right hip crease, okay? Walk your left knee back just as far as it feels comfortable. You can come onto the top of that left foot, or you can keep the toes curled. That's entirely up to you. So as you're here, coming onto your fingertips, try and keep that length in your spine. We don't want a lot of rounding here. Lengthen through the spine. Press into the top of that foot to get a nice big stretch in the front of that quad. Pressing into all four corners of the right foot. Breathing deep, pulling back in that hip crease. If you want to come up here, you can come up and find a crescent lunge. Or you can be here. You can be in a low lunge. This way. It's your choice. So from there, wherever you are, take 2 more deep breaths. And then you're going to rock your hips back. The right toes come towards your face. Nice big stretch in the hamstring, the glute, low back. Bend that knee as much as you need to. Coming into a runner's stretch here. Breathing deep. Inhale, roll it forward. Curl your toes on your back foot, your left foot. Lift that back knee and then step it halfway up. The heel of your left foot faces the right back corner of your mat. The toes, the left front corner. And level your hips if you can. We're going to come into a pyramid pose. So level your hips if you can. And then bring your torso over your thigh. You can grab onto your thigh. You can touch the mat. You can come into reverse namaste behind your back if you're warmed up. I'm not warmed up. I'm not going to do that. Big, big, big stretch here, guys. Breathe, breathe. And don't walk out in that front knee. One more big breath. When you're ready, step that left foot back and then plant your palms. Keep those back toes curled, and then we will slide the right foot back to downward facing dog. Or tabletop, whichever way you decided to get there. So from here, if you're in tabletop, you're going to slide the left toes out. Or if you're in down dog, you're going to lift the left foot. And we're going to come into our lunge. So whichever lunge served you on one side may serve you on this side, it may not. So just find what works best for you. Again, keep length in your spine. Pulling back in the left hip crease. Press that back foot or toes into the ground to really get that activation in the top of, or in your quad on that back leg. You get a better stretch and strengthening and stabilization. This is perfect. So breathing here. You want to come up into your crescent, or you can just be here, here, whatever feels good for you today. Two more deep breaths. And then when you're ready, rocking back, finding that runner's stretch. Breathing deep. Inhale, roll it back forward. Lift that back knee, and then you're going to step it up halfway and find your pyramid, leveling your hips. You don't want to be on a tightrope here. Make sure your feet are hip width. And then find your pyramid pose here. Not locking in the front knee. Are you gripping anywhere you shouldn't be? Are you clenching your teeth, furrowing your brow? See if you can find that effort, that ease. And then when you're ready, step it back. And then from here, we're going to step the right foot back to meet the front and meet in a forward fold. And again, find your forward fold, whether knees bent, whatever feels best for you. So we stepped it back into mountain. We're going to take a forward fold here. Maybe walk side to side, hand side to side. Find a little movement. And then when you're ready, tuck your chin into your chest. Inhale, roll it back up. Mountain pose. And then from your mountain pose, we're going to take our feet a little bit wider than hip width apart. You're going to turn your feet out to the sides. We're going to come into goddess. If you've done goddess before, I might cue you a little bit differently than you're used to being cued, but just bear with me here. So feet are about hip width apart, toes turned out slightly. Imagine you have this, like you're sucking up energy from the ground through the soles of your feet. I'm really struggling to figure out how to describe this. Our muscles are engaged in our legs. We're like pulling up energy from the arches of our feet. So everything here is activated. And then when you're ready, maintaining that feeling of energy being pulled up through our legs, we're going to bend our knees and sink our hips to goddess. Inhale, lift. Maintain that resistance, maintain that feeling. Exhale, lower. Inhale, resistance, keeping everything engaged. Exhale, lower. Keep your spine straight. Inhale, lift. Try and keep your knees tracking over your middle toes. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. One more, we'll hold this one. So everything's drawing up. Sink our hips down. Now you can find your traditional goddess. You can have your hands on hips. Breathing deep. Three more deep breaths. You got this. You can come up a little, but sink, sink, sink. You got this. Two more. One more deep breath. On the exhale, release. Whoo! Now find a little tick-tock of your hips. Keep your feet planted. Oh, that feels good. So find that little tick-tock. You might keep a little bit of that engagement as you do this. It feels pretty good. I may look a little silly, but whatever, I don't care. Perfect. That made me sweat. Walk your feet together. Whew. We're gonna inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold it forward. And then we have our choice here. So we're gonna come lift your heels, sink your hips. We're gonna come into this froggy posture. And you can stay here. If you're in the froggy posture, really take your knees wide. You may rock back and forth, stretching through the feet. You can come to Yogi Squat. Heels don't have to come down here. If you're here, keep lengthen your spine. If neither one of those are for you, bring your sits bones to the mat. Take your feet to the ground. Same thing. lengthen through the spine, you can get the same stretch. So your choice, you're here, here, or you're here. So wherever you decide to be, find 3 breaths, find effort and ease in your pose. This part requires focus, energy. See if you can find somewhere to soften, maybe shoulders away from our ears a little bit. Soften through the feet. One more breath. Exhale, bring yourself to a seat. Take your legs out long. Maybe give them a little shake. Perfect. Now take your right leg is out in front of your hip. Activate your toes. Bring your left sole of your foot to your right inner thigh. We're going to come to head to knee pose, or if you're familiar with Sanskrit, Shavasana. So in this pose, make sure that hip crease is being pulled back. Okay, so that hip crease is being pulled back. Your left outer thigh is pressing towards the ground. Inhale, arms up. Bend your right knee as much as you need. Exhale, fold over. Now, your Shavasana or your head to knee pose may not look like this. That's okay. It can look like this. Just wherever you are, honor your body. Take some deep breaths. And then when you're ready, roll it up on an inhale and switch. So again, pulling back in the left hip crease. Sole of the right foot is at the left inner thigh. Inhale, arms up. We're going to hinge at the hips, not bending at the waist. It's a hinge at the hips, bending that left knee as much as you need to. Folding over. So when you hinge at the hips, you're giving yourself that length. So if I am bending at the waist, I don't have near as much length. Bending at the waist. Or hinging at the hips. So find your deep breaths. I took all your breathing time away explaining hinging at the hips. Inhale. Exhale. Tuck your chin into your chest. Inhale, roll it up. And when you're ready, so from here, you're just going to carefully, slowly, mindfully, lovingly bring yourself to your back. Perfect. So if you have a blanket or a towel and you want to put it under your head, please, please feel free to do that. So coming onto our backs, feet flat on the floor, and then we're going to hug the knees into the chest. Now, especially for if your low back is fussy, you don't have to pull your knees way in unless that might give you a nice little stretch through those low back muscles for a second, but then see if you can keep your sacrum on the floor. And then find a rock side to side. And sometimes that may be having to hold on to your kneecaps and let your feet hang. And that gets your sacrum on the floor. Find a rock side to side. Give your low back, your sacrum area, a nice massage. And then when you're ready, squeezing your knees back in, pressing your low back to the floor. And then we'll inhale, lift the head, neck, and shoulders, coming into a hedgehog pose. And if you want, you can pull one knee in and switch here if you want some ab work. Moving with your breath. Keep lifting your chin towards the ceiling so we don't strain our necks. You don't have to do this, you can just be in hedgehog. Exhale, release whenever you're ready. If you're doing the ab thing and you want to do that, that's fine. You can meet up with us. So from here, bring your feet flat to the floor, hip width apart. Take your right leg up high. Let's go ahead and interlace behind our right leg and give it a nice, grab behind the right thigh. Press your hamstring into your hands and pull your hands into your hamstring. We're getting a nice stretch and stabilization of the muscles. Exhale, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Let that knee fall out. So for our recline pigeon, you can be here, or figure four, whatever you want to call it. You can be right here, or you can interlace behind your left thigh and be here. Try and keep your sacrum or lower back. I mean, you don't want it to come up too much here, see? You can lift that left foot if you want. Breathing deep, you may find a nice little rock side to side here. Exhale, release. Bring that right foot to the mat. Bring the left foot high, interlace behind, pressing hamstring and hands into each other. You can rotate your ankle if it feels good. And then when you're ready, crossing that left foot over and either being here or here, right here. Find a rock if it feels good. Perfect. Exhale, release. We're going to do, let's do a couple of bridges or spinal sectional movements. So plant your feet hip width apart. You don't have to have them walked up really high here. Just plant your feet hip width apart. Palms on the mat if it feels good. And then when you're ready, we're going to inhale, curl up from the tailbone. Slowly lift our hips, press into all four corners of the feet. Don't let the legs come out or in here. Slowly, each vertebra lifts up off the ground. Lifting, keep it lifting your chin towards the ceiling, bringing your chest towards your chin. Exhale, roll it down really slowly. Do 2 more of those with your breath. Inhale, rolling up. Exhale, rolling down. One more. Inhale, roll up. Exhale, roll it down. Perfect. Now, bring your right knee in, slide your left foot out. Squeeze, you might rock that knee from heart space to shoulder a little, massaging that hip crease. And then when you're ready, you can shift your hips slightly right and take your right knee over towards the left. You can bring your right arm out, or you can bring it, those fingertips behind your right ear. Take 3 deep breaths. You know what? Let's do 5. Perfect. Inhale back to center, nice and easy. Bring your left knee up, take your right leg out. Really pressing through that heel. Shift your hips slightly left. And then take your left knee towards the right. Left arm comes straight out, or you can bring fingertips behind your ears. 5 deep breaths. Back to center. Bring both knees up. Give yourself a big hug. Rock side to side. And then when you're ready, take your body out, lay it on your mat or however you feel most comfortable, out long, using a bolster blanket, whatever feels best for you. Find the most comfortable Shavasana or corpse pose. Let your body sink into the mat. But this is where we really find that ease. So, honestly, just, our traditional corpse pose is arms out at the sides, feet wide. It's whatever you want it to be. That's what I say. So get comfortable, let the mat support you, and this is your time to shine. This is your time to find that ease, that sukha. It's probably the hardest thing for many of us to find in our lives. So I invite you to take the time to find some ease right now, right here on your mat. You deserve it. Let the mat hold you up. Let it support you. The earth support you. See if you can identify anywhere that you may be unnecessarily holding, unnecessarily gripping, and see if you can breathe into that and maybe find a little ease there. Give yourself these moments on your mat to breathe and just be and not have to do anything, because you deserve that. Take as long as you need here, as long as you have time for. If you have time, I highly suggest staying here for at least a few minutes, and if not, and you gotta get up and get stuff done, then I appreciate you being here with me. It's always an honor, and I hope this video serves you well. And I hope that you find, that balance between effort and ease on and off the mat. Thank you for being here.